And then finally today, we've got a big show today. Our Black History legacy makers with Philadelphia ties. Now, the Eagles have had a long history with black quarterbacks. And for some of you out there that are listening that are younger, there was a time in my lifetime, not that long ago, where there was a stigma against black quarterbacks. They were considered not smart enough to play. And this is like late 80s, early 90s. Not smart enough to play the game. A lot of times they were considered too athletic to play quarterback, whatever that means. A lot of times guys would get drafted, move to running back, wide receiver. We saw that with Cordell Stewart. Hearing the nickname Slash, and that was basically because they didn't think he was good enough. And then when he did get the starting job, he actually didn't do that bad. But the Eagles, to their credit, you had Randall Cunningham, Rodney Peete, Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick, Jalen Hurts now. I mean, if you really want to go Vince Young, he did start a couple games. But Don McPherson was Randall's backup for a couple years. And my fandom, the Eagles, in my time as an Eagles fan, they've had far and away more black quarterbacks than white quarterbacks. And the numbers back that up. The Eagles have had over a few hundred more starts by black quarterbacks than any other team in the NFL. And I think that's a testament. Most of these guys played under Jeff Lurie, and it's a testament to him for just saying, listen, we're not going to buy into the stereotypes. We're not going to buy into all of the ancient rhetoric, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put the guy that is the best for the job in the position to start. It doesn't matter black, white, purple, turquoise, whatever. That's who we're going to put in. But where did it all start? And today we're going to celebrate Johnnie Walton, and he was the Eagles' first black quarterback. Johnnie Walton was Ron Jaworski's backup from 1976 to 1979, played in 15 total games, threw for 3 touchdowns in the 1979 season, including he came into a tied game on Monday Night Football against the Cowboys, who were great at the time. They were the team that the Eagles were trying to overtake. Threw a couple touchdown passes, led a field goal drive, gave the Eagles the lead before Jaworski came back into the game. Didn't have a ton of playing time, but he made the most of what he got. And truthfully, Johnnie Walton paved the way for today's black quarterbacks. He was the first, a lot of times considered the first prominent black quarterback in the NFL. He was a backup, but when Dick Vermeil brought him in, gave him a chance to compete with Ron Jaworski. I mean, we know Ron Jaworski is one of the greatest quarterbacks in Eagles history, so I don't think there's any shame in not beating out Ron Jaworski. But Johnnie Walton is considered a pioneer, a trailblazer, and really set up the black quarterback to be successful. Like, he was the guy that sort of paved the way for Doug Williams winning the Super Bowl with Washington in 1987. He was the guy that paved the way for guys like Randall Cunningham and Donovan McNabb, Michael Vick. And it's just one of those things. So thank you, Mr. Walton. And the Eagles have had a great legacy, a great history with black quarterbacks. And we all know the big names: Rodney Peete, Randall, Donovan, Mike Vick, Jalen. But it all started with Johnnie Walton. Sorry, I'm thinking about my Friday night already. But it all started with Johnnie Walton in the 70s as the backup for Ron Jaworski. So shout out to you, Johnnie Walton, who is today's Black History legacy maker with Philadelphia ties.